Rio de Janeiro is the welcome door to the Brazilian tourism. The wonderful city attracts tourists all over the world in search of attractions like Copacabana Beach, Cristo Redentor, and many other natural and cultural heritages. But the beauty of Rio de Janeiro continues through the inner state. Arraial do Cabo is located 560 kilometers from São Paulo, 550 kilometers from Belo Horizonte, 140 kilometers from Rio de Janeiro. To reach the city that's considered an ecological paradise of the Brazilian coast, you have several options. Who likes to travel by car finds roads safe in good state of conservation. Now, who prefer to get faster? There is the international airport with periodical flights leaving São Paulo, Rio de Janeiro and Belo Horizonte. Toward the região dos lagos, another way a tourist have to arrive at Arraial do Cabo is to travel in luxury cruise ship, which in high season bring thousands of tourists to discover the beautiful landscapes with dunes, sandbanks, Atlantic forest, lakes and beaches with white sand and crystalline water. Arriving in the city, you can have all the tourist information at the Portico of Tourism Secretary, which stays on the entrance of the city of Arraial do Cabo on the RJ 140 road. The Portico works Sunday to Sunday with bilingual receptionists. Near to the Portico is the Pontão Beach. There is 700 meters of extension that starts on the limit of the city's Arraial do Cabo, Cabo Frio. The locale keeps the tranquility of the older fisherman's village. Who likes to fish can enjoy the handmade quay and still enjoy the beautiful view of the Ilha da Baleia, Whale Island. Proceeding toward the city center, the visitor arrives to busy Prainha beach, Little Beach, with 1 kilometer of extension. The Prainha receives daily hundreds of tourists coming from the entire world. The calm sea, with extremely blue color, is perfect to guarantee the fun, mainly for the kids. Attractions like a banana boat tour, kayak rent and the practice of apnea diving do of Prainha a perfect place to hold the family. The tourist route of Arraial do Cabo, we arrive at Praia dos Anjos, Angels Beach, with 1 kilometer of extension traditional fishing center. Arraial was one of the first cities of Brazil to have the Navy Extractive Reserve to protect the fishing handmade culture. The fishing still is one of the mainly economic activities on the region. The movement here is the embark and disembark of the fishermen, the confection of the fishing net, the tons of fish that arrive to provide the market become tourist attraction for who doesn't use it to see that kind of view on day to day. Tens of tour boats or fishing boats let anchor at the sea and on the fishing quay, where exit the unforgettable boat tour of the coast of Arraial. Ships also let anchor at the Porto do Forno's port, at the Praia dos Anjos, serving offshore companies, by excellent condition of mooring and good in position between Campos and Santos Basin. The Porto do Forno is considered a sea of development for the real estate. Leaving by tour boat of the fishing quay, in 10 minutes the tourists can see the Praia do Forno beach, located in 1 kilometer and a half of the city center and with 1 kilometer of extension. Who prefers a good walk can arrive to the Praia do Forno beach by the trail that starts beside the port entrance. Who goes by boat will have the opportunity to see the immensity of the sea being pioneered. Who goes by trail will win the present of arrived at the hilltop, a gorgeous view. At Praia do Forno beach, the tourists have the option of delight with seafood at the floating restaurant and still swim beside the turtles and fishes of different kinds. The tour boat can take the tourists to other charming places. One of the mandatory stops is in Prainhas do Pontal, located at the feet of the Pontal do Atalaia hill, 4 kilometers of the city center, has the most clear water and with more visibility of Região dos Lagos. With a gorgeous nature, had been seen to several commercials of national serving. In front, a little bit on the entrance of Boqueirão, we found one of the legends of Arraial, the Slide of Nossa Senhora. The old fishermen tell that during one storm a thunder fell to the rock, causing a crack. A fisherman looking to this slide has found the image of Nossa Senhora da Conceição, patroness of the city. For geology, the slide of Nossa Senhora is a result of process of erosion. The highest point of the tour is the Ilha do Farol, chosen for consecutive years the most perfect beach of Brazil by the National Institute of Space Research. On the election was considered elements like color and temperature of the water, color of the sand, average temperature and velocity of the wind, has everything what is expected from a virgin and paradise beach. The access to one of the most beautiful scenes of Brazilian littoral is just permitted with the Brazilian Navy authorization. Here is also located the Sambaqui of the island which, thousands of years ago, tells the history of the first inhabitants of the city. Still on the Ilha do Farol, stay the Gruta Azul, having the Ponta do Focinho and Boqueirão as limits. On low tide is possible coming in this cavern, which is approximately 8 meters of breadth, 30 meters of extensions and 15 meters of height. On the walls and on the sea, the color keep changing with the sunlight, expectable and missable. Arraial do Cabo is considered one of the best places in the country to dive. The sea has an average temperature of 12 to 26 Celsius, caused by the phenomenon of resurgence. There are currents of cold water full of nutrients come from the south of the continent, deep ocean, and outcrop the surface. Thanks to this phenomenon, numerous of marine kinds are attracted to the littoral of Arraial do Cabo. The resurgence, one of the most important marine phenomena, is registered in only 6 points of the planet. There are more than 2,000 points of diving and tens of cataloged castaways. Between them are the boats that and Dona Paula Underwater Archaeological Heritage. Daily, tourists of several cities of the country and foreign countries dives on the crystal waters of Arraial. Other attractive is the Praia Brava, located at Pontal do Atalaia, more or less 2 kilometers from the city center. Considered a beach of the ocean, only present sands in day of low tide. It's one of the most dangerous to dive, but this detail calls attention to surf because of tubular waves. There are 200 meters with a lot of adventure. To arrive to the Pontal do Atalaia is needed. To the track by car and arrives to Praia Brava beach is needed to get the access trail. The biggest beach of Arraial do Cabo takes the grandiosity in your name. The beach has around 35 kilometers of extension, white sands, in a sanctuary to the fishing, because of the phenomenon of resurgence. The outcrops of the surface when arrives to the beach. The locale is the important point to the surfing, and also in the locale where the young people like to enjoy the summer. Continuing the Praia Grande beach, we have the beaches of Monte Alto and Figueira. They have the same characteristics of water temperature and sun color, but with stronger current cause they are in a point of open sea. On side an exuberant sea, at the other the Araruama Lake, one of the most salt lakes of the world. The saltness and the constant winds turn the salt mill are the determining factors to the production of the salt, what movements the economy of the region. The lake has also other charming, like the permanent preservation area called by Lagoa Azul. It stays at roadside a district of Monte Alto. The ecosystem has preserved areas with sandbanks, vegetation, and the scene is extremely bucolic. The lake is shallow and in a few points is called Arubinha, perfect for the practicing windsurf and kitesurf, sports that attracts national and international competitions to Arraial do Cabo. The sandbank of Massambaba, formed by a closed and virgin woods, is an environmental protection area created to preserve one of the ecosystems with more diversity on the Brazilian Atlantic forest. The sandbanks is a band of sand between the lake and the sea, covered by vegetation where it's possible to find rare bromeliads and orchids, besides wild fruits and medicinal plants. The sandbanks of Massambaba covers the city of Arraial do Cabo, Araruama and Saquarema, a place of dunes, swamps and lakes, perfect for the practice of ecotourism. The hotel chain is prepared to give the prime attendance to the tourist. According with the Association of Hotels and Inns of Arraial do Cabo, a more than 1,900 beds and infrastructure privileged with capacity professionals, bars and restaurants in different styles and with typical foods, win the palate of the visitors more exigent. Here the friendly people don't let the tradition of the ancestor be forgotten by the time. A proof of this is the confection of the bobbin lace, passed by generation to generation.
Mulher de cangaceiro, não tem medo de careta, quando ver a coisa preta, bota fogo no sertão.
The city catch built and history. The Church of Nossa Senhora dos Remédios in Praia dos Anjos, built in century 16, was celebrated the first mass in church Wattle and Dal of Brazil. And in the historic center of the city is located the Casa da Pedra. Built by the Portuguese also in the 16th century, is considered one of first edifications of the country. The house of the end of 19th century represents a true trip to the past. The sea reveals your history in Oceanographic Museum, open to visitors. Here you can know several marine kinds and equipments used in the study of the Brazilian littoral. The simplicity of the old fisherman village excites us, who are used to the run of the big urban centers. The nature in Arraial do Cabo keeps treasure untouchable. The sunset here is in the true meat of the man with which there is of more beautiful in the planet. Here, in the end of the day, is a screen painted by the hands of God, an emotion that we can't describe. To understand this spectacle, you need to visit Arraial do Cabo.